have to resend it. To be totally honest, your other one, your first one you did was like not as good quality. Like was good. The audio was good quality, but you were like your videos or whatever. Your film quality in your car is fantastic. If you chose to become either like an influencer dad or an OnlyFans creator that like does things in their front seat, I don't know, like just in your car, people pay for that. So I don't know this. I don't know, man. Look, this is an episode about snakes. So you know. But CJ's
well, I don't want to imply that Lee has snakes in his car. Like, I mean, we're not on a plane doing this, okay? So, anyways, you guys are listening to Dad's Bet Baseball. Oh, what a cold open there. Make sure you use the code DADS for 50% off of your first month. We're talking about Hall of Fame bets, by the way. Got to make sure I mention where you're using that code. You're using that code for Hall of Fame bets. 50% off your first month. 1 week free trial. We will get into some stuff with Hall of Fame bets here. I want to welcome back our friend to the show, Lee Nelson, our resident Dbacks fan, our resident Snakes fan, just no snakes in the car. And Lee, we wanted to have you back on because I feel like this team is getting no love. Like nobody cares about this team except you and people that are weathering the 100+ degree heat going to the Chase Field in Arizona. They've really completely flown under the radar to this point, but it's actually right where we expected them to be when we did the preseason pod. I mean, I think we all had come to a consensus of like, let's revisit this team when we get closer to the end of May. And if they're 500, they're going to be interesting. And look, it's May 21st. Diamondbacks are 500, and I think
games
they
over
might
500. Two games over 500.
That's right. Sorry,
I'm the Giants.
Up older one. So let me just quickly, for folks who are not familiar, where they're 25 and 23. That's true. They're only 5 games behind the Dodgers, which they're not catching the Dodgers, but I didn't realize they were that close. So that's interesting. The strength of schedule has been pretty normal. Their preseason projections were around 81 wins. They're projected right now 82 and 80, about 36% playoff odds according to Fangraphs, and they kind of have had some underperformers on this team, but have had some overperformers. Like if you look at guys like Erod has like weirdly been excellent in.
He's now 2 years removed from he's 2 years removed from that elbow surgery.
He was one of the worst pitchers in baseball last year. Like at least as far as I remember betting against.
He was 1 year
to him.
So
yeah, all the time. And then he was awesome in the World Baseball Classic.
Berg loved betting Erod unders on outs last year. I remember that.
I loved it. It was like my cash. that was my cash cow was Erod unders, and like now he's like, yo, I'm here. Quality. He's a quality start machine. He's actually starting today, actually. So yeah. So
they haven't really had also a ton of injuries so far on this team. They had Ryan Waldschmidt. He was recalled. James McCann, whatever. Aramis Garcia, Alec Thomas got traded to the Dodgers after being DFA'd. So they, as far as like contingency on the lineup, they've been pretty solid. And then if you look specifically how they've been performing lineup, dead smack, like 99 WRC plus. Rotation has some left to be desired. Bullpen, I know, Berg, you want to talk a little bit about that. They've been actually pretty good recently. Yeah. And overall pitching, it looks like as far as by WAR standards, they are 22nd in the league. So I'll just start with this, Lee. Like, is this, I mean, are you surprised at all at the makeup of the team, where they are? Like, what are your thoughts on their sort of the first quarter of the season, how they've performed and where they're going?
They're right where I thought they'd be, just around 500 with the reinforcements on the way. Lawlar's going to be coming back soon. AJ Puck will be back next month. Justin Martinez will be back next month. And then that bullpen that's been performing adequately, now your 7, 8, 9 is Taylor Clark, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck, or any of those three. So that's going to get stronger. You don't have to rely on Paul Sewald throwing 88-mile-per-hour fastballs and being scared every single time he comes in to close a game. Because I'm aging at the speed of white right now, watching that. before the season, I told you guys I loved Ryan Waldschmidt to win
Yeah,
Rookie of the Year.
he can't. Yeah, nope.
I did not. I thought that they were just going to keep riding this Alec Thomas home run off of Craig Kimbrell 3 years ago, and just keep letting him destroy the inner makings of the team. But they finally cut ties.
By the way, he destroyed the Phillies. Also, he destroyed the Phillies also this season too, which was really hilarious. Alec Thomas, like randomly, like he didn't like it's so he just lives in Philly's brains forever. But yeah, keep going.
Waldschmidt's up. I really like that. Ketel Marte, I saw it before this week, I think it was. I've been trying to trade for him in all of my fantasy baseball leagues. He was the most unlucky hitter in baseball to start the season up until this point. And the past 2 days, he's hit 2 home runs and has I think 4 or 5 extra base hits. So if he can turn it around, this team is going to get even better. Geraldo Perdomo has started off very slow. If he can turn it around, this team's going to get much better. The biggest surprise to me was Ildemaro Vargas was hitting nearly 400 after April. He's still batting, I think, in the 330s, but the guy's a journeyman. He was a nice surprise. The rotation, like you said, Erod's been great. Soroka has been a really huge surprise. And I know you were on that. I was not. I was like, this guy's going to be in the freaking bullpen. No,
he was really good. Nice, you know what? Like Soroka's one of those guys when he was on he's like only 3 years removed from being nearly the ace on the Braves. Like he was awesome. And then he tore his Achilles twice and then, became whatever he is. I always have thought Soroka was wasn't he a first round pick too and stuff like that? Like he was a good player. So his is not as surprised, but apparently Brandon Pfaadt's gone. Is Brandon Pfaadt gone? I completely forgot about him.
I think that he's in the bullpen right now. He's their long guy, I haven't even seen him. And he's still getting shelled in the bullpen.
All right. Well, so he doesn't. So an opener will not solve his problem.
Shelled. No, Gallen's been getting shelled. He had a good start against San Francisco. Kelly and Nelson, if they can get 2 of those guys to perform as they have in their career in the past, they'll be fine. I think this is a borderline playoff team. When we started this season, they were minus 110 to win 80 games. Now they're minus 270 to win 80 games.
We all have in pocket them to have more wins than the Padres, which at plus 260, which is great. So wait, so Lee, let's go through each of the sections and sort of give them a grade. All right, lineup wise, one of the guys you forgot to mention, the 2 guys you forgot to mention. One, the human bobblehead himself, Corbin Carroll, is currently mashing too, and he just always is, and that's fine. But Nolan Arenado,
he's got 7 triples.
Yeah. Nolan Arenado, who I think started off the season 1 for 45 or something awful.
Jock Peterson level was
Peterson level. He was really bad. Dude, he's got an 807 OPS. He's been great. He's been solid. He's been absolutely solid. That's completely working for everybody. What are you giving? I think Gurriel looks still hurt. But he's still coming back. But you can tell that his power is not really there from his lower body. What are you kind of looking at? What grade would you give this lineup right now?
Probably a C right now. They're just middle of the pack. There's nothing really. They're not all clicking at the same time. So yeah, I would give them a C.
That's kind of the thing. I feel like this team is verified. We can verify them as not terrible, but I don't know what their identity is based on their lineup. And I think the part of that, and CJ, I kind of want to ask you about this too, is because Lawlar and Waldschmidt and Carroll being usable at different times. Cause then you got these speed guys that are also contact hitters all at the same time is not there. That one of the things that one of the things that the D-backs have always done really well is Ketel could be either 1 or 2, and him and Corbin Carroll at the top are both pop and speed. So suddenly every single can become a triple whenever it happens. They haven't really been able to do that. And that kind of feels like the like I give them. I probably am the same as Lee. I give them a C on this lineup right now.
I think as far as like performance, I'd probably actually be a little more generous because like you mentioned, Lee, like Vargas has been a revelation. Now, will he continue that for the rest of the season? Probably not. But he's, they've had some gaps there where they've been able to fill that I didn't expect after Lawlar went down. It's just a different makeup of a lineup compared to last year because you had Naylor, you had Suarez, who was just like insanely nuclear hot when he was on the D-backs. And like, if I'm looking at it's weird because the Diamondbacks, as far as like batting, like the power side has never been a big concern for me. But the only guy who has an ISO of over 200 is Carroll. Like Ketel there is not a lot of power.
Had a really bad May. Up until the last 2 days, he had an extraordinarily bad May.
So my thing is kind of like with the lineup,
piss out of the ball at the same time.
Yes.
Now, since then, though, he's been
he's definitely been.
He was like 475 to hit a home run yesterday. I was like, that is way too high for that dude. I didn't take it, but like,
I mean, look at even in his last 5, like he is barreling the crap out of the ball. He's got like a 93% contact rate. Like he looks like he's starting to really come back. And so to me, it's like if they can get Perdomo going, who is also such a key piece, a guy that I said sneaky MVP candidate, that hasn't aged well in the preseason take, but the top of their lineup, I still think like could be actually playing better. And that would make up for, if the expected sort of drop off happens with Vargas, Del Castillo, Moreno, like
you got to get Del Castillo out of that lineup.
Yeah. But like look, Waldschmidt's been great since he was called up. Like, was it 294 average, 348 WOBA. Like he has been a real asset. I think honestly they need to move him up from
K-rate's not out of control either. Like that's the thing. Like
I think he should be batting like 6th or 7th in that lineup. So yeah, like I do see a case where like the lineup does get better and they've been fine. Like they've been league average and you get the WRC plus up to like a 110, 120, and then you make some improvements in the bullpen. Like now you're actually cooking with some real gas. So yeah, I don't know. I would probably give like the lineup here, solid B-, and everything else on the team is like a C+. I was
gonna say, let's kind of like real quick, like, cause I want to grade the other 2 things and then we can HG, HOF, and then we can kind of figure out how to bet on it. Cause I already know that I want to make on it because I looked it up while you were like, this team is being disrespected because they are being disrespected. But I want to say it before we tank the odds. Rotation wise, Burnes is going to come back in July. And if Kelly kind of gets into his rhythm, he kind of seems to kind of be like, well, I'm Merrill Kelly. Like, I'm not terrible, but it's going to be okay. Suddenly, I guess the big picture is for me is that rotation wise, they've hung tight. They've been okay. I haven't seen anybody who's been just a calamity except for Fott. And to me, getting guys that you're about to get back, like getting Burnes back in July, even if he's at like 70% and giving you 4 innings each time is just going to, like, if they go to a 6-man where he's giving 4, which I could see them doing, where he gets like, cool, we're going to give him 4 innings out there and do that. I just feel like that stretches everybody in the right way. I give this rotation. I got to give this rotation based on all of this. Like, I guess I'm going to give him honestly a B because it's Soroka. I've always thought was great. I like Erod has shut everybody up. Fott, I just like saying his name because it sounds like a Boston guy saying fart. And like that is, but like, I'm not going to hate on Gallen's way overpaid. I don't know like what the deal is there. I don't know like what the plan, like maybe flip him because he's on a 1 year, like trade him to somebody seems like, but I give the rotation B. Lee, what do you kind of give a grade for your rotation?
I'm right there, like a B to a B-. I expected a little more from Nelson, but what Nelson hasn't done, Soroka and Erod have. So those 2 have been so surprising. Nelson has been adequate. He's had some good starts. He's had some bad ones. Gallen has been atrocious for the most part. Kelly seems to be figuring it out, even though he's getting killed by lefties right now. Like,
yeah,
Bryce Eldridge
he's also been
shot
bad on the
off of him
road, which is
yesterday.
not usually his thing. He's been really like he's CJ's original dog because he's really good on the road, and he hasn't been. He
needed that Met start a few weeks ago to kind of reorient him, because mentally he did not look like he was right. And then he had that awesome start against the Mets, which everybody has. Erod almost threw a no hitter the next day, and then he has like weirdly seemed like he's sort of brought back some of the Merrill Kelly that we saw prior to the trade deadline last year, because he was bad when he was in Texas too. So I was afraid that this was just like a continuation of that. But I kind of think that he might be getting some of that back. But again, like you guys need him to be. You need him to be like a solid 3 or 4. He can't be relied upon as like your 2 if you're gonna be able to do anything down the line.
Yep.
All right, let's real quick bullpen grade. I'm giving this bullpen. I'm giving them they've only been really good over the last 3 weeks. They were terrible to start the season for a while, so I'm still giving them a C+. But I do think that like the Puck Martinez, like the bullpen that you actually expected and were promised is coming, and that could change things for me. Lee, grade on bullpen.
Yeah, I'm right around a B. Taylor Clark has been great. Ryan Thompson was pretty good to start the season. He's faltered a little bit. I think Seawald started off like 7 or 8 saves in a row, but every single one, dude, I'm just like, should I bet against him to lose this right now? Because it's just been brutal watching him pitch. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd probably give the bullpen a B as well. I mean, Murillo has been fantastic for you guys. Yeah. And like Murillo, Garcia, Thompson, like you have some real dudes that are, sort of in that back latter half. I mean, I can't even pronounce his name. Lasiga, basically. He's another guy that like I do think is maybe due for a little bit of regression. But like again, Seawald has probably been a little unlucky, and you are going to get some reinforcements coming. Also, this is a team, we'll get to this, I think, in the next segment when we talk about where we are looking to bet this team, because I have one kind of lined up that's going to pair well with what one of our segment kind of titles is. But they I
wonder if we have the same one.
Yeah, we might. They
probably.
Traditionally, like at the deadline,
it's a crazy number if it's what I think. If it's So
traditionally at the deadline, these guys will make moves. They just won't do a lot. So I could absolutely see them being like, you know what, we're gonna go and try and get a mid-starting pitcher for a little bit of rotation help, and then we're gonna just go and get some more bullpen guys. And I really don't think they're gonna need to do anything from the lineup perspective. Like I think as long as Lawlar comes back and is producing, like, you're fine. Like I don't think that they need to add there. So, but we'll get to that here in a second. Let's actually pivot and give another shout out to our sponsor, Hall of Fame Bets. Again, use the code DADS. We'll get you 50% off your first month and a 7-day free trial. We're actually, since we're recording this early, we have some opportunity. We have more lines we can actually play around with today.
I can totally show people something I like.
Well, I was hoping, because as you can see, I'm in very professional attire here, so I have not.
I don't know why you do that. Like that's I work for myself, so I don't really do that. Anyway, all right. Oh, look at me. Was I not me looking at Chris Morrell under hits on Hall of Fame Bets earlier? No, but what I was doing was this. So let me first of all, okay, let's start with HG. Sorry, HOF, but I'm gonna start with HG for a moment. All my starters. So I said this to CJ this morning, and this is something again that we're going to try to figure out a way to like get into the system. But I love watching the Soriano side train fall off a cliff, because all of you people that ship this 2 weeks into the season, like, no, like also, by the way, Zach Wheeler is still 80-1 for Cy Young in the NL, which is an absurd number. But I digress. Jose Soriano's last 3 games, you would be like, this guy, he's stinky. What has he been doing? That's why you got to kind of look at the season-long things and kind of compare and be like, oh, the underlying metrics are he's been great. One of the things that I like about Jose Soriano is when I looked at his game logs, he actually just got like a walkathon against this Dodgers team. And by the way, he had this bad road start. Like he had a so-so road start with Toronto. I went then to Hall of Fame Bets. Let me share this. And I looked up Mr. Soriano. And I kind of like, I'm a big fan of taking unders on positive pitcher props. I saw this basically schedule wise as look, this is a game at home against the Rockies. No, it's the last game against the A's. My bad. It's the last game against the A's to end a series. Dude, this is such a Soriano shove spot, in my opinion. This is exactly where he should be taking care of business. So I took his under hits allowed, which is now crazy moved since I gave it out, but oh well. Anyway, the point is that one of the things that I like being able to do on Hall of Fame Bets is that I can go and I can work around what I like doing opponent batter ranks here because it kind of levels out what the average is. He averages against teams that are in the top 50% of hitting, which Oakland is. 3.3 is what he averages on the hits allowed, and his line is 4.5. So I took the under on this. I also, you could pivot, you could take his over outs. I think that would work really well. So that is a quick way that I want to show everybody something I'm finding, something that I bet Jose Soriano under hits allowed, shove spot for the former DP King before they got rid of that market. I rest my case. Unless CJ had something else to say on it.
I don't have anything else to say other than Jose Soriano, I love you, but we called this a few weeks ago that this was not happening. Oh my God. I was just looking, by the way, that Erod 2.53 ERA.
Yeah, dude.
Damn. I mean, the expected stuff is not good, but all the other stuff says, and his batted ball has been a lot better. So, anyways,
it's
okay,
not good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There are guys that it's really like, how long can you get away with it? It's the whole Breaking Bad meme with guys like Erod, but he's definitely, I mean, K minus BB 7.6%, also not good. All right, let's talk about how we can bet this team. So I'm going to start this one, and then I want to hand it to you, Lee, and we'll go kind of round robin and some different bets that we would like for the seasons. Because the good thing with the Dbacks is, one, they're not a super public team. Two, they have played, again, so basically mid-average. They haven't even had like any sort of, hey, Diamondbacks 8 in a row, hottest team in baseball. They even had it like that, like a little bit of buzz to start the season. So I'm going to go first here and say that I think the price for them to get the 6th seed in the NL is bonkers. It is.
You took mine.
It is 8-1.
8-1. Yeah, I just fired on that.
I was looking for this on DraftKings too, but I couldn't find it. But you know me, I love a good 6 seed bet. I was trying to make a case that did not actually end up working out on Tampa Bay the other day. But 8-1 for them to get the 6th seed. So look at, again, who they've got to basically make up ground on. First off, they're only 3 games back of the 6th seed right now. We have a lot of season left to play. So that's very much, if this is 3 games back in September, I'd be like, this is very much surmountable. So right now they are 3 games back of the Cubs. Cubs still feeling okay about them. Glad also, Berg, you jinxed them once again by saying the, what was it, minus 250 division.
First of all,
and then they proceed to get swept by the Brewers.
First of all, they're 1-7 since we did that podcast.
Yep.
Both of us contributed to that. We continue our streak of every team
warned Benny.
Done well.
We warned him when he came on.
Every single team has not done well since I got on here. But yeah, I mean, they closed the season against the Padres, who they will likely be competing with.
Yeah, so I was just about to point that out. So they're going to be competing against the Padres. And then again, you have the Cubs, and who is the other team right there that's ahead? The Cardinals, which we also think are frauds. So so if you take out, I think this is just playing a little bit of some futures here, but if you look at the teams that are like potentially going to finish ahead of them that they have to beat out, Padres, I'd argue the Phillies. Phillies been hottest team in baseball.
Phillies might end up with that 5th though.
They could. But I'm just looking at like who's going to be that basically 5 or 6, right? Who are the teams in that 5 or 6 range? So definitely think the Phillies are there. I definitely think the one of the Padres, the Pirates, and then maybe the Marlins, but the Marlins, I just don't believe in their pitching quite as much. So as I'm kind of going through this, they really don't have a ton of teams that they need to jump. I get you could throw in the Reds too as part of that conversation, but they're already tied with the Reds right now as far as the wild card standings go, and they have a lot of room to, as you were just saying, Berg, make up ground on the Padres. They play the Padres how many more times this season? They've got 3 in the first half, and then I believe they have another 6 that they play them in the Yeah, so they've got 7. They have 10 more against the Padres this season. That is a lot of head-to-heads for them to make up ground. So, anyways, 6 seed, 8-1. It's a crazy price.
I just did it. I did it to win 5U. It's like 0.62 units to win 5 units. I think it's a bet.
Yeah.
Lee,
I love that.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Plus some
playoffs right now.
Well, that's plus 235. I know that's the thing. It was just kind of like, I think to be totally fair, split a unit on both. I think we all agree that this team is better than the bottom half of the NL. It's probably better than the bottom third of the top half of the NL. So that's the thing, is that I probably would say, yeah, actually a unit on that plus 235 for them to make the playoffs is crazy. That's a crazy number.
Yep.
That's actually the floor bet. And then this one you do a half a unit on. That's what I think. I agree. I completely.
Is there a market?
I saw that.
I was trying to find.
Keep going.
Is there a market for most wins in June? Because if you look at their June schedule, the Dodgers
there
are
will
the
be.
only
I don't know if it's up
team-
yet, but they definitely there will be that. Yes.
That's so we were very close till the Phillies lost 2 of 3, and the Rays played every game in May at home, but which we didn't notice. We were really close, but we have Phillies for best record in May at 14-1, and they're the third best record because evidently Tampa just gets to play all these bum teams all the time. For more takes on why I don't that. Yeah, for more takes on why I don't think the Rays are going anywhere, listen to our last episode. So that'll be out in that'll be out next week. That's a great market that we always forget to look at, and June is when we all said the Dbacks are going to make their move, the Snake's going to move, and so Snakes strike in June. I think we take this. I think that's the way to do it. I think we take it then.
I love it. I think the Padres are going to completely fall apart. I don't believe in their offense at all. It's been terrible. Their rotation, it's just a whole bunch of reclamation projects that I think is just going to implode at some point.
Giolito and Bueller, and
Herman
Vasquez is all these. Oh yeah, that's right. He's on that team. Well, everybody on that team, the fact that their identity was a fast team that doesn't strike out, and they have, I think, the 4th worst K rate in the league right now. It's wild to me. Shout out Ramon Laureano.
They are depending a lot on Michael King on this team, which I'd be nervous to be putting that much weight on a guy that cannot stay healthy, because otherwise, from a starting pitching standpoint, I guess they'll get Pivetta back, but
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
It doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't look good. It sounded
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like Pivetta's kind of no, I'm good. You should trade me. So yeah. Pivetta's on a Pivetta's a free agent after this year. Or he has an option, one of those things.
And also the Padres.
It's kind of like Michael King last year. Don't come back. Or
they just don't have a lot of moves they can make either. That farm system. They can't go out and get another Mason Miller like they did last year. That's it. They've kind of emptied the cupboard on some things. So this is the team that they have. Look, AJ Preller is kind of a magician, but at some point, you just don't have the ammo to fire the gun with. So I'm expecting definitely some. So if that team regresses, then it looks to me the NL right now says 2 teams from the East, 2 teams from the Central, and 2 teams from the West. And I absolutely think the Diamondbacks could be that second team.
Yeah. So cool. All right. Lee, who else is there to watch on this D-backs team? Because you were ahead of the market on Waldschmidt. Who else are you kind of looking at? You have a rookie of the year, right?
I like Jose. Yeah. At 3,500.
Nice.
He's still right there, but Jose Fernandez is another guy I like. He's batting. I'm pretty sure he's still batting in the 290s, and he plays everywhere. My fear with Fernandez is Carlos Santana comes back and he loses his playing spot because he's been playing majority first base right now.
But he's like fast. He's on my singles filter all the time. He's a singles king. And yeah, I'm a fan of Jose Fernandez. I don't know. I think that this team is going to start getting an identity with some of these young guys mixed up with the dudes up at the top of the order. Gurriel might be a lost cause. I don't think that he's the same guy as he was before. And unless like he's going to be a platoon guy anyway, because he's like, that's what he does, but he just does not look well. So that's it. I don't know. CJ, what do you got? You want to bring us home?
All I'll say is, are we interested at all in them to reach the ALCS 13-1?
They're 3.
I think I just am good with the 8-1 on the 6.
I'm good, dude. That's we have to take them to make the playoffs too.
Yeah. Yes.
Otherwise, we'd feel really stupid if like we ended up losing on them to make the playoffs at plus 235. They just swept the Giants and their number's still plus 235. Like that's
Pirates, by the way, are 9-1. Cincinnati is 9-1. Padres are plus 650, I believe, and I think the Phillies are also they are 6-1. So I would personally put the Diamondbacks more of like fair, probably around like that 6-7, and not
for the 6 seed.
Yeah. Like I think they should be like what the Phillies are basically priced right now.
Yeah. No, totally.
So yeah, I don't know if we lost Lee there because we were giving him all of these compliments about. Look at your new podcast studio, aka the front seat of your car, and
he hears us. There he is. All right, cool. He's I was about to text him. All right, cool.
Well, Lee, where can we find you if we can't actually see you on camera? And you're doing a little John Cena on us, but where else can people find you?
My connection is really messing up right now for some reason.
Okay.
But you guys sound like chipmunks in my ear. It's so funny. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at NelsonL81_. You could find me in the Discord channel. I'm always just putting plays in there in the Handigraphs Discord.
Yes,
he is. He's good. He knows his team. He's a really good one. All right, cool. Hall of Fame Bets, HOF app. Use code DADS. And Handigraphs if you want to text us. And we're all big fans of snakes. CJ, what's the final word?
I'm tired of these goddamn snakes in this goddamn car.